Good morning and happy Monday to you. My name is LaShonda Brown and welcome to Bootstrap Biz Advice Live, the best business live stream on the internet. Here, I teach service providers how to work less and live more by leveraging tech and YouTube. And if that is something that you're interested in, you are definitely in the right place. Now, today I am attempting to go live on both Instagram and on YouTube. I do want to let the viewers know who are watching on Instagram, if you would like a better experience for viewing this live stream, you'll want to hop over to YouTube. So feel free to go over to my link in bio. You can easily pop on over to Bootstrap Biz Advice on YouTube. The replay will also be on YouTube and not on Instagram. So if you want to continue using this as a resource, I guarantee you the experience is better on YouTube, but I wanted to include you guys if you want it to be included. So let me double check here and see if it's actually live. If not, oh, well, it is what it is. So let me see here. I believe, yes, I do believe it is going live. And also the one thing that I can't do is pop your comments up on screen. So that's another reason to hop over to YouTube. So FYI, Instagram fam, you are included for the live viewing, but you'll want to go over to YouTube for the replay. So as you are chatting, there are some new updates to StreamYard. So I'm trying to do all the things today. So you can see on the right-hand side that now your comments are actually going to display in real time. Now that is slightly frightening to me because I cannot control what you write. I can ban you if you don't behave. So just like the Periscope days back in the day, if you say something spicy, I can take you out. But for now, you get to be a part of this too. So good morning to Carolyn, who is watching from Memphis, Tennessee. Chanel is watching from Orlando, Florida. We've got, another one, Tampa, Florida. I've got a friend in Tampa, so I am planning on making a visit there next year. So when I am in town, I will post in the Bootstrap app. So hopefully some of the followers who live in that area, we can get together for a dinner. So that's something that I want to do more of in 2026. So definitely shout out in the comments where you are watching from. The question for today that I would love to know is, are you running a Black Friday sale this year? So if you are planning on doing a sale, let me know in the comments. The fun thing is, again, it's also going to pop up on screen. So it's a quick way to give yourself a little promo by letting people know that you're going to be selling some stuff. So I have put a lot of work into the pre-production of this particular live stream. I will tell you why further in the live stream, but I've got some ideas. I think they're going to work. Things went so well for the Canva watch party that I'm like, okay, I think I can give YouTube some extra love and really take it to the next level. So first things first is we actually have a live stream sponsor who will be sponsoring all the live streams in November. We are here for it. So that particular sponsor is Relay, which is the platform that I use for my business banking. So let's see here. So you can try Relay for free by going to lashondabrown.com/relay. And the fun thing is you can earn $100 when you open a new Relay business checking account and you meet the eligibility requirements. So what's fun about that is it actually gets deposited into your Relay account. And so you could actually use that $100 for your marketing budget for your Black Friday offer. So there is no minimum balance in your accounts and no account fees. So there's really no downside to you guys supporting me by setting one up, but I know setting up a bank account is not the simplest thing in the world. So I want to share a little bit about Relay before we hop into the education for today. But again, I just want to thank them so much for sponsoring today's live stream. Owning a business means spending a lot of time thinking about money. Do you have enough cash to pay your vendors, cover payroll, keep anything for yourself? Relay helps you keep your business on the money. It's my online banking and money management platform that has helped me gain more control over my cash flow. If you've ever read the book Profit First, Relay is the official banking platform for Profit First. Open accounts in seconds, set up auto transfer rules, and put your allocations on autopilot. With up to 20 checking accounts, you can separate cash for every expense, payroll, taxes, owner's comp, and know exactly how much you have to spend with a quick glance in the dashboard. Get banking built for small businesses. Sign up in 10 minutes at lashondabrown.com/relay to start your application and get $100 when you fund a Relay account. Here's to seeing your cash flow clear as day with Relay. So just to give you a little behind the scenes, my husband actually owns a video production company. And so I'm really excited that Bootstrap Biz Advice is able to hire his company to produce ads like that I can show live during my live stream. So essentially the vibe I want to go for between now and the end of the year is treating this live stream, this Monday live stream, like a live TV show, because I took a step back and I said, what do I really like about doing YouTube? And it's really going live. And there are very few people that had the level of production value that I have. So I think it really sets me apart. So essentially, I am testing out a new format today, and you can help me by letting me know in the comments, which I can see in real time without having to look at the comments. I can see them on screen. Just let me know, if you like things. Let me know if you like the video transitions. I can even start bringing up audience members and then they can come up on screen. There's just so much that we can do. And a lot of the updates that StreamYard rolled out, it's going to make that easier. So the vibe is a live business TV show. And I think if I can step things up in that way, then it can be appealing to sponsors like Relay to sponsor multiple months. So that's the game plan. So I got them for November and December, and I would love to be able to show the results of this to line up sponsors for Q1. So that's the goal for me. If I can get 4 live stream sponsors to sponsor 3 months at a time, that would make me so happy. So little by little, every single week, I'm going to try to do something a little bit better than the last one. So hopefully by the time I end the year, I'll feel really confident in pitching that to some potential brands. So that being said, we have a fun little thing happening in the bottom left-hand side that I didn't know was a thing. I created that animation that's literally going to be on screen the entire show. I created it in Canva, and I am willing to send you this animation along with a tutorial to show you how to install it if you buy me a coffee. So Buy Me a Coffee is a free platform. Imagine Patreon, but made by creators. And so a Buy Me a Coffee allows you to buy 1, 3, 5, or type in the number of coffees you want to buy. A coffee is just $5. So for $5, you can get that animation along with a tutorial to show you how to install it in StreamYard. So if you like what you see, I think this is going to increase the likes on my live stream without me having to constantly ask people to engage. So yeah, if you want that, I literally made it. I'll give it to you, and then I will record a tutorial on my computer showing you how to install it, make it an unlisted video on my YouTube channel, and then send that to you in an email. What happens in Buy Me a Coffee is when you buy a coffee, it does give me your name and email address. So just make sure the email address that you use to donate is the email address you want the file to go to and the tutorial to go to. Because sometimes people use their personal emails or a spam email and then they don't get access to it. So anyway, that being said, I want to start doing that. I want to start sharing my work, because if you want what I'm using, why go and recreate it when I could just send it to you? So that's how I want to strategically use Buy Me a Coffee, is to essentially give you access to files on my computer for just the price of a cup of coffee, instead of having to stress about launching digital products. Eventually I could probably revive my shop, lashondabrown.com, and put it over there. But for now, Buy Me a Coffee is quick and easy. So I will literally just, if you buy a coffee, I'll see the donation on my back end. I'll just copy it, put it into my normal email. So you'll just get not a mass email, a literal email from me, and keep it simple. So yeah, I want to give you guys the behind the scenes so you can copy things I'm doing if you want, but also to make life easier for you. The other update is StreamYard has a QR code builder directly in the back end. So the top left-hand corner is actually a QR code for Relay. So again, by me putting the QR code for my affiliate link, I made that graphic on the right-hand side that says today's live stream is sponsored by Relay. Now I've got my sponsor promoted in real time. So all I need to do in addition to that is to run the ad. So what's cool about that is I can upload that ad into StreamYard. It gets added to a library of content. And so every time I go live, I don't have to re-upload it. I can just choose it from the library of content and then repurpose it. So you'll be seeing that commercial break for the next 2 months. I don't see the need in refreshing it after 2 months because y'all be seeing the same TV ads for years. So yeah, that's just what I'm doing. So that being said, that's kind of the layout for that. I do want to say welcome to 2 of our newest members, Geraldine and Anisha. My membership is the Bootstrap Biz Advice membership. There are 2 tiers, Bootstrap Star Students and Bootstrap Creators. So the Star Students, the difference between the 2 is Star Students is really a subscription to my workshops. So the upcoming workshop for November is a workshop with Chris. If you remember the monetization roundtable that I did, Chris was one of the guests on the roundtable. And so what we're going to do with him, just like we did with Christy last year, is we are going to go behind the scenes of his business, talk about how he went from being a product designer to a creator to a founder. And specifically, we're going to hone in on how can you find things in your business that could be easily repurposed and turned into a digital product. So even if you weren't planning on doing a Black Friday sale because you don't have digital products right now, Chris may be able to help you to locate things within your business that could be easily repurposed. So if you would like to be a part of this workshop and get access to all of the replays of the previous workshops, there's over 20 workshops in the app. You can just go to bootstrapbizadvice.com. Now, the Bootstrap Creators is essentially a group coaching program. So in addition to the workshop, you get access to the Bootstrap Biz Advice app where you can DM me in the app at any time asking for feedback. So if you're working on your Black Friday offer and you want to say, hey, LaShonda, what do you think of this thumbnail? Hey, LaShonda, what do you think of this swipe copy? Hey, LaShonda, what do you think of this idea? Then I can engage with you directly in the app. You can ask the community for feedback, which is super helpful. And also, you will be able to get access to the monthly coaching calls. And so what I want to do, and I want to get your brains thinking about this, as you listen to today's education, I want you to put your questions in the comments. And so what's going to happen is I am going to answer some of those questions on the live stream, but others I may go in depth, and that's going to be what's covered in the coaching calls. My members do not like being on camera, and I have accepted it. I'm like, whatever, you guys are used to just sitting and watching me on the live streams. So instead of fighting it, I'm going to have you collaborate with me with text versus video. So members will be prioritized getting their questions answered during our group coaching calls. I also bring in a brand partner of the month that you could potentially be an affiliate with. You can learn more about what's happening in their business behind the scenes. So it's a really cool thing to do. And if you are willing to be on camera, I do highlight a member once a month. And so you can come up for the Meet the Member segment and get to introduce yourself to the entire membership. So that being said, the Bootstrap Biz Advice app is available in the App Store and the Play Store. You can only do the Star Student tier in the App Store because they only let you choose one membership tier. So if you want to be a Bootstrap creator, you need to go to the website, bootstrapbizadvice.com. So I hope that makes sense. And so today's agenda is, my friends, we are going to hop into the Stack The tech stack are the tools that I'm using to promote my Black Friday special. Then I'm going to do a recap of my numbers from November and kind of tell you what I'm planning to do for basically the rest of the year. Based on that, for the strategy corner, we will go behind the scenes and I will show you a couple things that I've implemented as a way to try to generate some additional revenue with very little work. And then we'll do Q&A. So hopefully that makes sense. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm actually going to remove the comments from the stage so it doesn't cover up what I'm doing, but you can still ask me questions in the comments and I can pop it up on screen like this question here. So yes, I am still using Flodesk. I'm going to show you practically how I'm using it literally right now. But yeah, I'm a Flodesk partner, so I ain't going nowhere. They pay for me to go to Lisbon, so we're connected for life, basically. So yeah, sweet deal. All right, awesome. So again, don't forget to like this live stream to help the replay reach more people. It looks like we've got some folks here who are watching on Instagram from New Jersey, that they are working on a Black Friday offer. So that's really cool. I may periodically pop over to Instagram to see if you guys say anything. But again, I'm going to prioritize people watching on YouTube. So first things first. In terms of utilizing tech tools to market my Black Friday offer, the number one tool that I would say actually isn't Canva, it's Flodesk. And the reason why is emails, typically for every dollar you spend on email, it converts over $40. So the simplest way for you to market your Black Friday offer is number one, for you to market to a warm audience. And number two, for you to leverage email marketing instead of prioritizing social media. The reason why is because social media, the algorithms be algorithming, especially on Instagram. And so I think during the holiday season, we really don't have the bandwidth to be doing all the things. And so I think it's super important that we try to figure out what is a strategy that I can utilize that allows me to essentially have a low lift strategy for marketing myself. So again, the first tool that I used was Flodesk. And so I'm going to take you behind the scenes of the email that I sent this morning. The name of my email list is called the Bootstrap Club. If you have not named your email, I'll say newsletter for lack of a better term. If you have not named your emails, I want you to start doing that simply because it makes it more appealing for people to actually join. Because if you just simply say like, sign up for my newsletter, I mean, that doesn't really say like who this is for and why they should care. So I'm going to walk you through the literal email I sent this morning, and then I'm going to show you a couple other things. So in regards to this email was made in Flodesk, and you can see at the very top, mindful marketing and tech tips for busy biz owners. So this tells you what someone can expect from the emails sent through Flodesk. My average open rate is 40%. And I think the reason why it's so high is because I'm not just messaging about random crap. I keep it business and tech centric, and I'm trying to help people who are super busy figure out a way to leverage tech so they can work less and live more. Because people who hear me speak in person, they hear that I work 20 hours a week. I've got a team of 6 people and they're like, how are you pulling this off? And the way I'm pulling it off is leveraging tech. I delegate and I automate. Everything else happens in the 20 hours. So that's that. So after that, I gave a brief description about the literal live stream you're watching right now. I said, today I'm going to take you behind the scenes to show you the system I designed for my Black Friday offer this year. Join me live on YouTube at 10 a.m. Eastern to learn, to ask questions, and to keep reading to see how to get an invite to my Black Friday sales coaching call later this month. Can't make it live? No worries. This live will turn into a replay at 11 a.m. Eastern. So a few things about that section. Number one, put your time zones. Do not assume everyone knows where you live. So every time I say a time, because I know I have an international audience, I always put the time. And I just say Eastern versus ET, EST, because daylight savings time just happened. I don't know if that means I gain the S, I lose the S. So I just spell out Eastern. I also want to make sure that people know that the replay will be included. Sometimes people withhold the replays. They don't offer them to people. The replays are how I generate passive income on my YouTube channel. So I'm not going to hold the replay hostage. I want you to watch it. I want you to share it because my YouTube channel is one of my products. And so I always make sure that people know you can watch the replay anytime you want. And so my live streams are actually starting to surpass my pre-recorded videos in terms of how many views I receive within the first 24 hours. And so they're gaining more traction on YouTube because YouTube sees, wow, people really enjoy this. They're commenting, they're liking, they're sharing. More people should see this. And I think that is a really unique thing to my business, but it's not something that is unattainable for you. I put the effort into live streaming because when I am done at 11 o'clock, I have created my content for the week. And if I don't record a single video, I'm posting weekly by doing live streams. When you go live on YouTube using platforms like StreamYard, as soon as the live stream ends, all of the views that I received during the live count toward that video. And then anyone watching the replay, it continues to stack from there. So that is a super easy way for me to leverage my email list to get people watching my content. Okay. So again, anything that you see me doing, I don't care if you rip it off. My business model is to educate you. Over 80% of my income comes from the tech companies. So Relay paid me to sponsor this live stream. So whether you buy me a coffee or not, whether you become a member or not, I've already gotten paid before I show up. So when I show up on the live streams, I really focus on generating valuable content so that my sponsorships contain more value. Okay. So then I just put a very click button to watch the live stream. The reason why I did a button versus an embed is technically to YouTube, your live streams don't exist until after you go live. So it's like a placeholder. It's like an event on YouTube. So Flodesk can't recognize your live streams until it's over. So that's why I link the photo, that's the thumbnail, and I link the button to go watch it on YouTube. Now, this particular photo was taken during my monthly photo shoot with my photographer. So one of my team members is a photographer. I have him on retainer, and we do photo shoots to generally have just a library of content so that I'm not pulling a thumbnail from the live stream. I'm pulling a high quality photo from my library of images. I'll show you in Canva where I have my images stored, but this has saved me so much time. I don't know why I stress out over having thumbnails or shooting thumbnails when I'm creating content, but I have seen that photos uploaded into Canva and thumbnails designed perform so much better than selecting one of the 3 thumbnails that YouTube chooses from the video once you upload it. Plus, with the live stream, it doesn't exist yet, so they can't pull a still from the live stream. And so that's what I choose to do. I can also repurpose this image as a post on LinkedIn, and I'll show you where I already have a post scheduled to go out tomorrow to drive traffic to the replay. So that was the thought process with that. Okay, underneath that, I said this time last year, I hosted the Mindful Marketing Mastermind, but I don't have the capacity for that this year. What I decided to do instead is a 1-2-hour group coaching call plus asynchronous support via the Bootstrap app. Here's how it'll work. So what's really cool about this is I was upfront from the very beginning. I do not have capacity to offer what I offered last year. I think a lot of times we feel like we owe people an explanation as to why offers have come and gone. Hey, are you selling this? Hey, are you still doing XYZ? You don't need to use your valuable energy to educate people on things that you are phasing out. Instead, you can just tell people what to expect and manage expectations. So essentially what I know I can fit on my calendar is a 2-hour block of time and leveraging a system I already have in place, which is my own app that I spent days and days and days, weeks and weeks and weeks building with our team. And so you can just message me in the app if you have questions after that call. So the call is like more like an intensive. It's like when I do my master classes, then people will be able to hop up on screen, ask questions, yada, yada, yada. And then when that group coaching call is over and it's time to actually do the freaking work, then you can message me in the app without becoming a member. That's the cool thing. You don't even have to become a member if you are a member of the call. Okay. So this is my offer because I'm like, okay, I don't even have time to make more educational content. I just rolled out 4 modules for Canva Design School. I can't make that right now because I got 25 days of Canva coming in December. We're shortening it. We're only doing 12 this year, 12 days of Canva. So then that branding has to be re-updated. I'm like, this is what I can do. I want to help people. I want to set them up so they have something to sell by Black Friday. But I want to manage expectations. I want to be real in how I'm going to educate them. And I want to help them create a low lift offer like they're literally seeing me do in real time. Okay, so going back to that email. After that, I had this graphic. Now this, I just resized. It was a post that I made for LinkedIn that I never got around to posting. And it's essentially me talking about how I structure my years. And I did this because so many people get so stressed out between November and January because they feel like they should be ending the year strong and starting the year strong, and things are really stressful. And so essentially what I show them is how I break up my year to do my major pushes. And when things are slow, if I'm in down season, here's how I use that time. So I just wanted to break up the text, and I didn't have time to make something new. So I just resized this and put it in the email. Okay. Now this is where we get into some really cool stuff. Now, what is happening here is essentially you click on that button and it utilizes a new feature in Flodesk called link actions, which I think is so awesome and one of the best parts of Flodesk right now. And so essentially what's going to happen is when people tap on that button, it automatically adds them to a segment in Flodesk. So I don't need to send people who are already on my email list to give me their name and email address to sign up for a new segment. I can just say, when someone taps this button, automatically add them to the segment. So utilizing that ability is going to help you tremendously with your warm audience, because it reduces the friction. You're not asking them to opt in again. They've already opted in because they're in your Flodesk account. So instead, just link the button and say, I just want to know who cares about this, who's interested. And so essentially, I connected that button to a segment in Flodesk. Now, from there, I want to show you something really, really cool. My one-on-one calls usually run for $500 for 90 minutes. For this offer, we're doing pay what you will instead, with a suggested minimum of $50. You tell me what you want to pay, I'll invoice you in Relay, and that's it. This is not how the gurus say I should do sales, but this is my business. I genuinely want to see you win, and I don't want money to get in the way of that. We are also designing the first printed Bootstrap coupon book, and we're negotiating exclusive offers for you to save money on your tech tools for 2026. All you have to do is pay for shipping, and I will cover the cost of design and production. More on that next week, but just know I'm rooting for you always, and I'm just a reply away. So, what I love about this is this gives me content, okay? Relay is not only sponsoring my live stream, but they are sponsoring posts on LinkedIn. Now, I don't want to do just arbitrary content that I'm posting on LinkedIn about the features of Relay. I want to take people behind the scenes and show people how I'm actually using Relay in my business. And so what I'm going to show them is how you can create invoices directly in Relay so you don't have to pay for platforms like Honeybook or Dubsado if all you're doing is sending invoices. My husband has paid for FreshBooks, Honeybook, and Dubsado for years, and all he does is send an invoice. So he doesn't need all the automations and the CRM. He just needs to get paid. And so I love that Relay does it. They also have the ability to set up an ACH super easy. So you don't have to take the 2.9% processing fee out of your money. And so it's essentially like people are writing a digital check. So immediately what you get paid goes up because you don't have to pay processing fees. And then you can decide based on the amount of the invoice whether or not you want someone to be able to use a credit card or not. If someone's paying you $10,000, 2.9% is a lot. So you may want to turn that off for them. But if someone's only paying you $50, having the credit card makes it easier for people to pay, and then they can immediately hop on. So I freaking love that about Relay. And so the fact that I'm actually doing that for this campaign will give me content to talk about on LinkedIn. Then after that, I embedded a video that I had already done on the YouTube channel about Relay. This is an extensive 10-minute video about how the platform actually works. It's currently in the description of this live stream. So if you want to go watch that after this live stream ends, you can do that. And that video also promotes my affiliate link for Relay. And it's the same offer because it's exclusive to me. Get $100 when you fund a Relay account and you meet the eligibility requirements. So I'm also going like, I don't have time to shoot new content about Relay to get them the number of new accounts that they want me to have. What do I already have on the channel I can repurpose? Because you don't see date posted in my Flodesk email. You just see a thumbnail and you see relevant content. And so I want to remind you, you need to repurpose the content that you made because everybody doesn't see it the first time you put it out there. And so again, I'm going to go back in my library of content on the channel and say, what can I embed in these emails to market the live stream, to market Relay so that I can have a successful campaign? Because if I can go back to Relay and say, hey, I sent you X number of customers, what's the value of that? Then they may want to renew. And then there you go. Before you know it, Relay might just be the sponsor of the Bootstrap Biz Advice show. And then I can be done because they're paying me for an annual contract. And then I can focus on teaching you guys and not focus on sales. This is the kind of stuff you need to learn how to do because social media is just a tool. And honestly, it's an ineffective tool for running a business in 2025. I'm just saying, I'm just calling a spade a spade. It is not an effective way to market because people don't see what you post. It takes so long to generate content. The platforms that are working for me right now are LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram just as a product. So we'll talk about that when we get to the behind the scenes of my brand. But anyway, so there you have it. So that was how I practically used Flodesk. Okay. Now, we'll get into this part in the strategy session. But here's the other thing I want you to know. So when people click on that button, not only is Flodesk going to add them to a segment within my Flodesk account, but it's also going to redirect them to a Jotform form. Jotform is my favorite form builder. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's one of the first subscriptions that I paid for when Josh started his video production company back in 2011. And so I've been rocking with Jotform for a while. Again, when you are actually utilizing the tools that you recommend, your recommendations are going to carry so much more weight. Okay. So let us go now behind the scenes and I'll show you the form that I made in Jotform. So I love that I have the ability to customize the styling of the form to match my branding. And I also can do that format that's typically popular with Typeform, where you have one question at a time instead of just one giant form like a Google form. That's going to increase the amount of people who respond, and it's going to make the experience a lot nicer for them. So essentially, what I wanted from that email is, yes, tell me that you're interested in this group coaching call. But if you're ready right now for me to invoice you in Relay, girl, I'm finna take your money. Let's go. Okay. That is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make when they're selling online is they create a wait list and then they say like, oh, well, doors are going to open in 3 weeks. Well, people are excited in that moment. So once someone signs up for your wait list, why not offer them an early bird rate just for being on the wait list? No, you don't have to create anything yet. Maybe you're still building it. Maybe you're still working on it. But there's nothing to say that you can't offer them a discount for them taking action sooner rather than later. I've done that for my LinkedIn masterclass. I've even done some add-ons, and I increased the amount of money that I made per person by 3 times by doing that. So make your wait list so you get the name and email. But have the systems in place from the beginning for you to capture interest while people are interested. Because as soon as they bounce off and do something else, they're going to forget about you, and your engagement and your conversion rate is going to go drastically down. So don't make people wait if they don't have to. All right. So if we go back to Jotform, let's talk about what, and I can zoom in on here. I'll talk to you about what things I wanted people to actually complete. So the first thing is I wanted to set expectations, pay what you will, Black Friday sales call, drop your info below so I can shoot you an invoice and relay. Super excited to support you this holiday season. So we have name, email, name of business, then billing address. I don't need the billing address for the campaign. But what I like about that is if I want to send physical mail later, even just send like a Starbucks gift card so they can have coffee when they come to the group coaching call. It just gives me the ability to surprise and delight if I want to. And then I don't have to track them down for that information. Because again, the purpose of the form is to simplify the process for your customers. Because if you can reduce the friction, you're going to get more money from them. Because people are already all over the place by themselves. If you can add clarity, if you can make it simple, it will sell. So have the billing address. After that, I say, how much would you like to pay me to thank me for my time? I don't use the word price at all in that. Absolutely not. Because what they're doing is they're compensating me for my time. And I want to know, how much do you want to thank me? Because maybe they want to give me more than $50. Maybe they want to give me $60. So like a $10 tip. Or maybe they say, hey, I can only afford $25 or whatever. It's just a blank that they can fill in. I said $50 suggested minimum, $100 if you want to pay it forward, and sponsor someone in our community to attend the call. For reference, my coaching calls currently cost $500 for 90 minutes of YouTube coaching. So that gives them a point of reference for what my typical rate is. So this is a way for me to charge less without discounting my services. I'm telling you right now, if you go on my website and you book a YouTube coaching session, it is $500, and it will set up a series of automations that will get you prepared for the call. There's stuff after the call, but I want people to know that I know my value and this is what my time is worth for coaching. However, because I'm doing a group coaching format, I'm hoping, like my goal in my head is if I can make at least $500 off of this group coaching call, I'm still only doing one call. I'm not losing money by doing this. I'm just making it more accessible to people in my community. Okay. And I think the pay what you will structure is just really fun because it's something you don't see very often where people are saying, hey, I want to work with you. I want to work with your budget. Like you don't have to wait till you can afford me. I'm sure you come up with $50 for me to help you to plan your sale that you're going to make money with. This also gives me a very tangible amount that I can say, hey, what was the return on investment? You spent $50 with me. How much did you sell? Even if they sell $500 worth of stuff, like that's a crazy percentage-wise ROI on the coaching call. That's another thing that I am really wanting to be specific about in my offers moving forward is I want people to see work with LaShonda and it will pay for itself. And in order for it to pay for itself, we have to have a very tangible thing to point back to say, what did you invest? And then what did you make? Okay, so we have that. Then I say, what dates and times work for you? Because I want to plan the coaching call around the availability of the people there. I do say replay will be provided because everybody is not going to be available at the time that I specify. But this keeps me from having to send another email to do a poll. It's in the form. It's already in the form. Okay. So again, the whole point of doing this in Jotform is I'm just collecting a bunch of things that could be useful. This just has nothing to do with the invoice, but I don't want to send another email to get that. Because if we go back to the top, it's like, okay, name and email could have been an email. Billing address, that could have been an email. How much do you want to pay me? That's an email. Dates and times, that's an email. Testimonial, that's an email. Social handles, connect with me, that's an email. So instead of sending 6 emails to get this information, this form is going to capture it all. It's going to put it in a database. I can export that. I can use it for marketing. I can use it for admin. I can use it to grow my list. Like, it's the bomb. Okay. Jotform is also free to use. And if you decide you want to do a paid plan, you can use my link and get 50% off the paid plans. So I think it's totally worth the time and I'm here for it. So if you are enjoying this, I want to remind you to like this live stream. If you like it, make sure that you subscribe to the channel because there will be more content like this posted in the month of November to help support you with your Black Friday offers. You can also comment and your comment will pop up on screen. And so I would love for you to drop in your questions as you are listening so that when I go to Q&A at the end, then I can address the questions in the comments or potentially address them on a group coaching call. So that being said, that's kind of where we are right now with my Black Friday offer. And we're going to keep adding on to this as time goes on. So I have utilized Flodesk to send the initial email just to gain interest. I have used Jotform to capture the relevant information, and I'm using Relay to invoice them as people come in. If I head over to my email, I already have somebody I need to invoice. So Allison, thank you so much for signing up. I will send you an invoice via Relay after this live stream. So it's working. Okay. I'm literally telling you in real time what is working. So the next thing on our agenda for today is I want to do a quick recap of what happened in November on my social platforms. So we're going to look at Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and we're going to do that for the behind the scenes segment. So again, I hope you are liking this format. I think having these little segments gives me a chance to get some water, breaks it up, keeps it interesting. So if you comment while you're watching the replay, it actually does help the replay reach more people. So feel free, if this is you in the replay, engage now and let me know how that behind the scenes showing you my tech stack helped you in the first part of the call today. But now we're going to do a recap of what happened in October for Bootstrap Biz Device and how am I going to make changes moving forward for the month of November. All right, so YouTube. Now, this was abysmal. I'm not going to lie to you. I wish that I had done a better job managing my time while I was working on Canva Design School. But to be completely honest with you, the 15-hour time difference rocked me senseless and I could not create content for myself at that point. I think I did in September, we did our work with me sessions, or I guess maybe that was August. I don't know, September, I can't even remember. But all that being said, my poor YouTube channel was on the struggle bus. It had been ignored. And so I really need to boost my numbers back up so that I can kind of level out by the end of the year. I think doing the 12 days of Canva campaign is going to help tremendously. So it's like, I didn't post for like 2 months, but I'm going to do 12 videos in December. So that's enough 3 months. So it levels out. So if you have those times in your channel where you're like, man, I dropped the ball, just pick it back up and keep it moving. Like, don't even stress. Don't even stress. So right now I'm sitting at 33,942 subscribers. Again, if you would like more content like this, subscribing doesn't really matter in terms of YouTube, but it matters for sponsorships. It's like the only tangible way to show them that I have traction. I'm literally able to charge more for the same thing just by having more subscribers. If this channel had 100,000 subscribers, I could make double, maybe triple what I'm making now. So a simple free way for you to support me is for you to subscribe. And that's really the only value for me at this point. But it is valuable. So there's that. My views, my watch time, about the same as usual, which is nuts to me because I didn't post anything. Now, I don't think that means if I do post that it doesn't help me, but it didn't hurt me. So it looks like my channel is pretty resilient and didn't completely tank from no content. However, my estimated revenue drastically went down. Well, actually, I shouldn't say drastically because it's just been bad this year. YouTube AdSense revenue has been really bad. I literally only make hundreds of dollars from YouTube for a channel that has almost 34,000 people on it. I make thousands from brand partnerships. And so I don't really care about Google paying me. I care about leveraging this channel to get money from tech companies. But in terms of AdSense, I would still like to see it go up. I think about my AdSense revenue as my marketing budget. And so I would like to have more marketing budget to pay for ads. So yeah, I would love for that to go up. $246 is all I made in October. But oh well, it is what it is. Okay, that being said, I gained 2,000 subscribers this year so far. Again, watch time, view time, pretty normal. But it is less. So watch time, view time was like 30% less from this time last year. So I just need to get it together, which is why I'm putting a little bit more effort into the production value. That being said, this year I've made almost $4,000 from AdSense revenue. So that's not nothing, but I'll make that from like one 3-month partnership. So that's a year's worth of work. So that's why I definitely coach people in the membership on how to leverage brand partnerships versus AdSense, because even though YouTube compensates its creators directly better than any social media platform, it's still trash. And I hate to say it that way, but like you can't run a business off of $246. But I can leverage what I'm doing here to get thousands out of brand partners who want to put their logo, want to reach my audience. And so that's how people are making the money, y'all. They're selling to their viewers and they're selling to brands. Google is not paying their bills. So any person who's told you they're a YouTube creator or an influencer, that's how they're making the money. So because that's how I'm making my money, I don't mind disclosing this now. I used to keep this stuff like behind the paywall, but I don't care at this point because truly it's not how I make my money. So Instagram, I used to hate Instagram. I only like it in the sense that my Instagram is now a product. So it's pretty much only going to be sponsored content on my feed. And I will use my Instagram stories to share behind the scenes when I travel to speak. I feel like I'm less of a hostage to Meta by having that strategy. Creating all of this content for Instagram for it to reach like 2 people is so depressing and stressful. If I'm being paid over $1,000 for one post, I'll spend the hour in Canva necessary to get some results. But in terms of Instagram directly, what they pay creators is like, I get pennies. I don't think I've gotten more than $1 from Instagram all year. So that kind of stuff I hate about it. But it's still valuable to the brands. And so what I've done to try to help with the finickiness of Instagram is any vertical that I post, or any reel that I post on Instagram, I also post on LinkedIn and I post it on YouTube. And multi-posting it has allowed me to charge for sponsored vertical videos and leverage my Instagram. It also expands my audience, so it becomes more valuable at that point. So that's something to consider if your Instagram engagement is down and you're not seeing the results like you used to. If you have another platform like LinkedIn, you can offer that. If you have a YouTube channel, you can offer that. And so that offers the brand 3 placements for the price of 1. So that's kind of how I've been doing that. Finally, I got above 16.6K. So yeah, at this point, there are ads running for Canva Design School. So I'm hoping that that will revive my Instagram. Because I only gained 17 followers in October, which is ridiculous. At least I didn't like lose followers. But that rate of growth is nowhere near what I'm getting on YouTube. So again, that's a reason why I don't prioritize it. But I figured out a way to make it more valuable. Also, figuring out the best time to post makes it less stressful. So it's like I just post at 6 and I don't go back in the app and look at the comments. 24 hours later, I go in and respond to the comments. And so I'm not sitting there refreshing, trying to see if anybody watched it or any. Half the time, I don't even share it to my stories. So again, that's helped it to be less stressful for me. Some other things I've done on Instagram is I really tried to hone in on the fact that it is your guide to Canva apps and integrations. What's incredible about that is Canva keeps adding in integrations within the platform. So say for instance, my next sponsor, Metricool, just got integrated with Canva. So Metricool is paying me for a sponsored reel. So all of these tech companies, if I start doing enough of these integration videos, I now become their go-to for that. And it makes it easier for me to get sponsorships. I love the Canva verified experts, but all of us kind of have our own thing. And I have been wanting my own thing for a while. And I think the combination of integrations and video content is where I thrive. I can teach an in-person workshop, but Hadass does like 300 a year. I will never surpass her with that. And what's so nice about really knowing where I fit into the Canva community, it allows me to celebrate the other experts without feeling like they're competition. And so I would encourage you, especially if you are a super affiliate for a platform, like you're a Flodesk partner, Canva verified expert, Squarespace Circle member, like all these different things, figure out what sets you apart so that you can hone in on that and not feel like you're constantly watching what everybody else is doing, because doing that will slow you down. The other thing is I use it for announcements about what I'm doing on YouTube. So I changed my little note on Instagram today to say I'm going live at 10 a.m. And then my links, I did create a primary link in my Instagram, and I put my YouTube channel, my app, watching me in Canva Design School, and then joining my newsletter. So that's going to stay up all year round. I'm not going to keep changing out links. I really want my Instagram to be like a set it and forget it. And you can see in the far right-hand side, I'm going to be doing 1 to 3 Instagram stories a day during the week to drive traffic to either YouTube, LinkedIn, email list, or paid offer. And that'll be in my stories. So I'm not going to make new content for the feed unless I'm being paid. And then my stories will be how I support other people and just promote my offers, because people watch the stories more than they watch the feed. And so if I'm going to be on Instagram, I tried to like study what's the most effective way to use it. And this is what I found. So again, copy what I'm doing, steal my strategies, because this is what's working. Now, again, if you currently, this particular live stream, what I'm giving away is that animation that says, like and subscribe. I'll give you a tutorial to show you how to install it if you buy me a coffee. If you're finding this information useful and you just want to buy me a coffee to tell me how I've been helping your business, it's a real encouragement to me, because I spent a lot of time prepping this live stream. I made slides. I've got tabs on my tabs on my tabs. I've got video intros. And so my goal is to truly teach you and just focus on serving and just hope that the Lord's going to provide. And so far it's working out. So yeah, if you've got stories about how my advice is helping you in your business, simply buy me a coffee and let me know. Those testimonials could be used on a sales page one day. It could be used in an email. And that, that makes it easier for me to sell too, because I can tell people that other people are getting results and I don't have to chase people down for testimonials that way. So yeah, I use my Buy Me a Coffee page also as encouragement. When I'm having a low day, I just go back through when I read these comments and go like, oh yeah, there are real people watching and real people being helped. Keep going. So that's another use of that platform. The last thing is LinkedIn. I'll keep this super short. I've got 724 subscribers on my LinkedIn newsletter. I've got 3,000 followers on LinkedIn. My goal is to eventually have LinkedIn surpass Instagram, but it's going to take some time because I can just run ads to Instagram and it's more expensive on LinkedIn. But my engagement is a lot better on LinkedIn. The post about Canva Design School got 103 likes, almost 2,000 impressions. And so getting results like this are great for promoting my LinkedIn bootcamp. That will be my next offer. And so, I love trying stuff on LinkedIn to test it out so I can report back to my community. And so there's some really unique things I'm doing over there that's converting really well. So I'm very pleased with the growth that I saw in October. Last thing is my email list. I only sent 2 emails, which is not good for me because I usually email on Mondays and Fridays. So that was really bad. However, even after I cleaned my list, I still had almost 4,000 on there. So that was good. My open rate was trash on those 2 emails. My normal newsletters get 40%. Those got 27%. So basically the email list and the YouTube channel need to get some more love. Those were the 2 that really suffered in this last month from me focusing on Canva and not focusing on my own brand. So with the last 5 minutes, I'm going to take you to Strategy Corner to show you one cool thing that I did in that email today, and then we will land the plane. All right, my friends. So we are going to hop back over to that email that I showed you earlier. And I did something really cool in Uscreen as a test, and we'll just see how it works out. So at the very bottom of the email, PSs are extremely powerful and people do not take advantage of them as much as they should. If you want emails that people read to the bottom, if you can train your audience to do that, it gives you more ways to sell. So I created a specific tier just for my email list in my app. The reason why I did that is because I put a lot of effort into my work with me sessions, and moving forward, we're going to do it directly in the app versus on YouTube. So moving forward, we will have our Monday live streams, Bootstrap Business Advice Live, but our work with me sessions will be within the app. So by people paying $5 a month, they will be able to get access to the work with me sessions and any free content that I put on the platform. So that being said, when you click on that link in the email, it takes you to this private subscription tier. This is not published anywhere publicly, so I don't have to worry about marketing it because only people on my list can see it. And it will set up the subscription within the app, and it'll charge them $5 a month, which is essentially a cup of coffee. So that's really nice. Now, this week, we will be doing our work with me session. So within the app, and actually let me log out so you can see what it'll look like. So what will happen, let's see, she'll go to video library, and here you'll be able to tell me that you are attending. So when I logged out, it showed I don't have a subscription. So people who are in the Bootstrap Club who are paying that $5 a month, they'll be able to sign up for this without paying. But you can also become a star student or a creator to gain access to the work with me session. And so, yeah, we'll go live in the app on Friday to work together from 9 until 11. And we'll do it Pomodoro style. I will mute myself during the 25 minutes. We'll work. And then during the 5-minute breaks, I'll check in on you. So you'll have some accountability. And because, again, of the production value that I put into these sessions, it makes more sense for me to do that in the app. I also was maxing out the space on my StreamYard account because you can only have 100 hours at a time for the tier I'm paying for. And I'm taking up 2 hours just working live on my channel. So if I do it in the app, I don't have to worry about it. But if I do it through StreamYard, then I'm going to have to upgrade my tier in StreamYard, and then it's going to be costing me money just to do these sessions. So that's why I'm moving. I think it'll be great. You'll be able to do it on your cell phone so that you can have your cell phone set up for the timer and the music. And then, you can work on your computer at the same time. So that's the strategy. I'm not marketing it publicly. It's just in the PS at the bottom of the email. And so I think that is going to be really effective for me moving forward. So that being said, that is today's session. Oh my gosh. That was a lot of information. So I hope that this was super valuable to you. I hope that you tune in next week for us to keep going. I also encourage you can go to that Jotform and you can sign up at lashondabrown.com/Black Friday coaching call. It's also linked under this video for you to hop on that coaching call. If you want my help helping you to cultivate your Black Friday offer, I would love to support you in that 2-hour session and then give you access to me in the app for feedback. Send me thumbnails, send me emails, send me ideas for marketing, and then I'll provide you with that. Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at the comments on this video. And those people who are members, I will add those to the agenda for our coaching call, or I will simply just answer it in the app later today. I didn't realize I was going to take the full hour, but I think that was good. But that's how we'll do it. I'll put it on the free tier. So if you go in the app, once you go, let me log in, show you what it looks like real quick, and then we'll head out. I think the easiest thing to do is to use the Bootstrap app on your phone. That is what I enjoy doing. So it looks like this on the desktop, but again, you can do this on your phone. And so, put this, where is it at? I know I have a thing for it. There we go. Okay. So within the app, you can see over here where it says messages. That is where I can DM the members directly in the app. So that's what I'm talking about versus sending an email. You can just DM me in the app. And all you would do is, let's see here. Since I'm logged in as me, it doesn't show up. But you just click on my name on one of the posts and then it'll say message. And then you can message me. I can also just start a message train with you and then people typically respond to it and that makes it easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tier here under public, and I'm going to call it, let's see here, let's do TV, and we'll call this live stream Q, and how do you do that? Does that work? Let's see, live stream Q&A. Okay, I can't put the @ symbol. That makes sense. Q&A. Let's see. We'll do this. Live stream questions. That makes more sense. Okay, cool. So what I will do then is I will put the thumbnail from this live stream in that thread, and then I will answer your questions there or let you know what questions we'll do on the coaching call. And that'll be the new system moving forward, is I will pull the questions from this channel for the agenda for our monthly coaching calls. Again, this is under the public tier. So if you just download the Bootstrap app, you're going to be able to see welcome, free events, tools I'm testing, and now live stream questions. What you're missing out on is under private. So the announcements, the monthly workshop, the Bootstrap affiliate program, celebrating your wins, being in the LinkedIn cohort, the Instagram cohort, the YouTube cohort, collaborating with other members, getting perks, exclusive perks and discounts for members, or just sharing what's happening in your business. These are all the channels you cannot see unless you are a Bootstrap creator. So yeah, it's awesome. I spent a lot of time building this, a lot of time, but I think it's worth it. And it keeps me from feeling like I have to stay on social media, which is ultimately what I care the most about. So last thing, don't forget, our workshop is going to be with Chris. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited about it. I've learned so much from him just about brand partnerships. And so I'm excited to learn more about the digital products because I don't feel like I'm utilizing that very well right now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to learning from Chris. A lot of times the speakers that I bring in are people who I want to learn from. Like I want to be a student, so I'm bringing in people to do these advanced workshops. So yeah, so I don't always have to be the teacher. Now again, all of the replays are in the app. So if I go back here, let's see here. This is what it looks like. So I'll be honest with you. I was on YouTube the other day and I was trying to get inspired by other experts and it was slim pickings. So I actually went back in the app and I watched Justin's replay for the Joy Reset. And so this is what it looks like. It's like a Netflix style subscription. You can cast it on your TV. You can watch it on your phone. But there are already 20 replays in the app as soon as you become a STAR student. So you can download the app in the App or Play Store, then you can become a STAR student and immediately you get access to this. So you could use that to help you to do YouTube SEO, learn about strategic storytelling, set your prices, learn about brand sponsorships, learn how to earn your first $1,000 with your email list. I mean, there's some really awesome topics in there. So that is what's happening in the life of Bootstrap. We are staying busy. Today is CT's first day. So he sent me an email. He set up his new email address with Bootstrap. So today we'll be focused on onboarding him. And so again, that's how I'm able to keep up with this because I fly out to Cleveland tomorrow to speak for WIPA Cleveland at their quarterly event. That's going to be hosted at the Ritz-Carlton. So I should get some content from that I can use for other stuff. So yeah, if you want this little animation and learn how to do it. So even if you don't want that, but you want to learn how to do that in StreamYard while you're streaming, then all you need to do is go to lashondabrown.com/buymeacoffee and buy me a coffee. If you look in the description of this video, I took a lot of time to link everything that I talked about and even kind of give you a preview of what we'll talk about next week. So if I said a link and you don't remember it, it's probably lashondabrown.com/whatever the business name is, but it's definitely linked on this video. So with that, we are going to head out. And I hope you all have a fantastic week. We will be working in the app on Friday from 9 until 11 a.m. And we will be back again next Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern on the channel. So as we like to say, until next time, ta-ta for now.